All right. Good morning, Minneapolis. Welcome to Thursday, December 17th. It's so great to see you. We're so happy to see you. This is a very fun episode, and we're very excited to do it here for you. So thank you to everybody that's watched so far, shared, subscribed, all those good things. We're just happy to be here. We're happy to be here. All right. In obvious news today, Mayan Burrell is free for a crime that he most likely did not commit. You know who else is free? For a crime that they did commit. That's Nicholas Peterson, Benjamin Winande, Maccabi Staria, and Joseph Carroll. They're all the officers that killed Brian Quinones. They should maybe get arrested, or they could arrest themselves, or somebody should arrest them because they're still on the state's payroll. Arrest those people. Well, we know that the country is built on slave labor, free labor, genocide, and a ton of other horrible things. It doesn't stop at Amy Klobuchar. Yes, the former Attorney General, Amy Klobuchar of Hennepin County here in Minnesota, was responsible for locking up Mayan Burrell, a black man, but at the time in 2002 was a black juvenile who was only 17 years old. She locked him up for the killing of Taisha Lynn Edwards, who was an 11-year-old black girl at the time. The AP News writes, Amy Klobuchar told a story that she has cited throughout her political career, including during her 2006 campaign for the U.S. Senate. An 11-year-old girl was killed by a stray bullet while doing homework at her dining room table in 2002. Amy Klobuchar's office put Taisha Edwards' killer, a black teen, behind bars for life. However, the Associated Press decided to do an investigation in Mayan's case, finding that there were numerous inconsistencies and that he was potentially railroaded by police. The AP News continues. The AP reviewed more than 1,000 pages of police records, court transcripts, and interrogation tapes, and interviewed dozens of inmates, witnesses, family members, former gang leaders, lawyers, and criminal justice experts. The case relied heavily on a teen rival of Burrell's who gave conflicting accounts when identifying the shooter, who was largely obscured behind a wall 120 feet away. With no other eyewitnesses, police turned to multiple jailhouse snitches. Some have since recanted, saying they were coached or coerced. Whoa, wait. You're telling me that the Minneapolis Police Department fabricated a story to lock up a 17-year-old black kid for no reason whatsoever, maybe just to bolster Amy Klobuchar's career and so that she could maybe run for president and Senate even sooner after? John Elder from the BCA, how come you haven't said anything about this? Mayan Burrell, today, 35 years old, having spent 18 years of his life behind bars in Stillwater Prison, walked out 2 days ago on Tuesday after a board of pardons voted that he should be released immediately. Here's some footage from that release. Yes, if you're part of the movement, very rarely do you ever see a win or a victory or anything to celebrate even for a few hours because something else is just coming right around the corner. So with that being said, we're going to give you another one to celebrate. The Cleveland baseball team has decided to ditch their name. Yes, their racist name and racist indigenous mascot name. They're going to ditch it and put something else in new. Now, only if Patrick Henry High School would ditch their racist name and think of something else better. Wow, if a middle school like Justice Page can do it, I bet the high school can too. Good luck, y'all. Well, Amy Klobuchar has built a career on prosecuting black teens for crimes they most likely did not commit. Mike Freeman has built a career on not prosecuting cops for crimes they definitely committed. Hey, if you're looking for a slogan and you're running for DA in Hennepin County next time, just be like, hey, at least I'm not Amy or Mike. Good luck. And we won't even ask for royalties on that. Just go with it. Go with it. Hey, if you've lost faith in old white folks being the attorney general or the district attorney, look no further than George Gascon. Yes, the new DA of Los Angeles. Holy George Gascon has come out the gates swinging. And yes, he's an old white man. And you would never have guessed it. This is what he's saying. ABC 7 News writes, "We will be the largest office in the nation to eliminate cash bail," said Gascon. The DA's office will no longer seek cash bail for any misdemeanor, non-serious, or non-violent offense, he said. Bail can be requested in a small subset of cases until January 1st. By then, Gascon's office said it will eliminate bail altogether. Gascon is also going to eliminate the death penalty. Not necessarily eliminate it, he just said, don't think that you'll see it here anytime soon. So, if you're looking for progressive DAs or you've just lost faith in old folks running for things, look no further than George Gascon. I don't know if that's a win, but it's kind of like a sort of, hey, you might get a win. We'll be looking after you, George. We'll hold you to your word. And for our friends and family down in Los Angeles, we'd like to give you a quick word if you're partying outside of Mayor Garcetti's house. Don't stop. Just keep partying. Keep partying on as pandemically safe as you can and just rage against the dying of the light. That old man is going to leave at some point. Just keep partying. And hey, are you a Trump supporter, a white supremacist, somebody who doesn't like wearing masks, or all of the above? Have you ever thanked a black woman? No? Well, you better get ready to, and there's a first time for everything. Kismetia Corbett is one of the scientists that is responsible for the vaccine that is going to fight COVID in the US, let alone the world. Kismetia Corbett was a teenager who had never seen a black scientist until one day she walked into a laboratory at UNC Chapel Hill and observed then PhD student Albert Russell. The News Observer writes, on December 8th, after the Vaccine Research Center worked with Moderna to develop one of the 2 coronavirus vaccines that have shown high effectiveness, Dr. Anthony Fauci singled out Corbett's contributions in a discussion with the National Urban League. Kizzy is an African-American scientist who is right at the forefront of the development of the vaccine, Fauci said. So the first thing you might want to say to my African-American brothers and sisters is that the vaccine that you're going to be taking was developed by an African-American woman, and that is just a fact. And although you may like to argue with facts, you can't argue with black excellence. Good luck, fellas. Speaking of arguing with the facts, Minneapolis Public Works, who has usually worked for everybody but the public, is building a new headquarters in East Phillips neighborhood. To give you some context on East Phillips neighborhood, this is a 2019 article from the City Pages. For years, its residents have lived alongside a spate of heavy polluters. At its southern boundary, the bituminous roadways asphalt plant towers over their Seculo de Amigos childcare center. Next door is the Smith Foundry, whose smokestacks eject metal dust and fly ash into the sky above densely packed housing. At the corner of 28th Street in Hiawatha is a 5-acre plot known as the Arsenic Triangle. That brings us back to Minneapolis Public Works potentially taking over a 7.6-acre plot of land in East Phillips neighborhood. Recently, the East Phillips Urban Farm on Instagram writes, the city of Minneapolis is unilaterally taking over 7.6 acres of land and infrastructure from the East Phillips neighborhood and Little Earth Native American community. Number one, the demolition of the Roof Depot building and construction of the new public works facility will risk disturbing the arsenic contamination in the soil and exposing members of our community. Number two, operations of the new facility will add another source of toxic air pollution in our already overburdened community. Even the city acknowledged to its Community Environmental Advisory Commission that achieving its goal to reduce overall citywide carbon emissions will come at the human cost of increased toxic air pollution in East Phillips. If you're thinking Minneapolis Public Works sounds familiar on this show, well, you're right. Robin Hutchinson and the gang we cited before as giving out a survey to George Floyd Square asking if they should open the streets, or open the streets, in full denial and dismissiveness of the tragedy, murder, and modern-day lynching that occurred on May 25th at George Floyd Square. Today, Robin Hutchinson and the gang, Minneapolis Public Works, is looking to hold an entire community at ransom, build a 7.6-acre facility that will affect the arsenic already in the water and the air and come at the cost of human lives and, essentially, quality of life. East Phillips Urban Farm is asking you to donate to their GoFundMe. Email Mayor Fry, if that's going to do anything. I mean, we've been outside his house and yeah. Email Mayor Fry and sign their petition, all things that you can find in the link below. And actually, I want to do something that a lot of public media companies have done in the past, and this is the first time we're doing this. I want to talk to a white man. Excuse me, white man?
Huh?
Yes, you, white man.
Oh, yep. Yes, that's me.
So Minneapolis Public Works is looking to build a 7.6-acre headquarters in the East Phillips neighborhood that is going to affect the air and water pollution in that neighborhood, particularly the Little Earth Native community. How do you feel about that?
Well, frankly, I don't think it's any of my concern.
Okay. Do you even live in Minneapolis?
No, sir, I live in Plymouth. It's a suburb of the suburbs.
All right. White man, if you did live in Minneapolis, what would you think of all that?
I live in Littleville, okay? Last time they tried to put up a building next to me, I moved, okay? Now, I work hard to put a roof over my head. Okay, there it is. That's the ceiling, but above that is scaffolding, the upstairs, ceiling, scaffolding, and then the roof over my head. And that's what I work hard for.
Okay, white man, just answer this flat out. Do you think arsenic is bad for humans?
Sure.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Do you think that the city should be able to build a building in your neighborhood that's going to affect the air and water pollution in your neighborhood without your consent?
Well, can't fight City Hall. Nah.
Thank you, white man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Moving along, well, speaking of Ward 9, speaking of East Phillips neighborhood, there's a new name in the hat for city council. Kano, watch out, because here comes Rita. On Instagram, Rita for Ward 9 writes, I'm Rita, a Native American and Latina woman, a mother, a community organizer, and a proud Little Earth resident. Today, I'm thrilled to announce my candidacy for Minneapolis City Council. Well, that also brings up an interesting point that we here at Onsite Public Media will be doing several months from now. Coming up in May and June, we will be holding a debate for each ward in Minneapolis amongst the people that are running for city council in those respective wards. It's basically a volunteer process. If any ward member or candidate wants to put their name in the hat for the debate, they can. We will film it. It'll be a Zoom call depending on how things are going at that time, and we'll have a full-on city council debate for folks that are running for city council in the respective wards. Good luck to you all. Speaking of Ward 9 City Council and all those good things that are probably going to change heavily in 2021, we still have a few screen prints that are left over that we were selling from last week. So we made a new little promo for it. Here it goes. That's right, a certain city council member publicly denounced the Minneapolis Police Department in early June 2020. She said she was going to defund the police. However, just like the seasons, she changed. Several months later, she turned right back around to do the opposite of what she said she was going to do and voted to fund the police an additional $500,000 for the fiscal year of 2020. About the people, or about that money, this city council member also took a fabulous trip to Spain and France on tax dollars in 2015. Also, let's not forget in her own ward. Just a few days after May 25th, the owner of Cadillac Pond, a white man, shot and killed a black man, and she said nothing. Police Pond, Cadillac Pond, we don't know what game they're playing. However, we do know they may not be getting paid to play any more games come re-election in 2021. And now, this limited print in their commemoration. On an 18-inch by 24-inch poster board limited edition screen print can be yours at the link below in this video. The more you can know, the more you may not be getting reelected. All right, that'll do it for us today. If there's anything you want us to cover in the next episode, please put it in the comments below or email us at onsitepublicmedia@gmail.com. And also, thank you to everybody that came through and brought cameras out for the used camera drive this past Sunday. We have dozens of them. Going from the 90s up until now, we're going to make a tutorial video for every single camera that we've received, and then make those tutorial videos public, and then give those cameras out to BIPOC youth primarily, and then BIPOC filmmakers right after that. We also want to point out a link below to become a monthly member of Onsite Public Media. A lot of folks say, hey, I want that screen print, I want the mug. Well, you can get a lot of those things for free when you become a monthly member for $10 or more a month. That's in the link below. And if you become a member, thank you so much. If you don't, thank you so much for watching. All right, that'll do it for us Thursday, December 13th. I think so. No, December 17th. Man, we've been editing and shooting this one a long time. All right, thank you so much to everybody that's watched, and we're gonna see you in the next episode. And hey, it's no longer free Mayan, it's Mayan free. Congratulations to everybody on that legal team, the community members, Mayan's family, everybody that came together to make that possible. Our work is never done. Bless you all.